conversation we need to have with government. You know, I'm now talking as the Minister of Agriculture. 13 years ago, I was the president of the Farmers Federation, strongly advocating for what we need. So now the question is, what is it we should ask government to do in this ecosystem where it is not the actual player? Isn't it? This is what I will end with my proposals. Of course, there are two categories of farmers. Our president has been very clear on this, and he's instructed us as planners in this sector to distinguish the farming community. One, the small people, the subsistence farmers, who only grow food for consumption. The task we have as government is to transform them, to transition to farming for consumption and for income. That's that category, the small people, the smallholder farmers. And of course there are agencies like IFAD, whose attention is on smallholder farmers. Yes, and they know, because the challenges the smallholder farmers face are different from the medium and large scale farmers. The other category is the commercial farmers who do farming as a business. Now, the good news I have for you is that for many years, the philosophy of government, and I'm sure Honorable Secretary knows this more, the concern of government was more to do with the smallholder farmers. Government assumed that the few large-scale farmers know what to do, have the means, they will do it as business anyway. If they don't do it as business, or they don't find it business enough, they will abandon it. So now, the good news is that the thinking in government, and which I am proud to champion, is that the strategy is now hybrid. We've discussed this with the Excellence Antonio here, for our great partners. Target both the smallholder and the large-scale commercial farmers. So, large-scale commercial farmers have hope. We are now coming into your space to work with you. How we should work with you is a conversation we need to have. The parish development model you hear is a program intended to solve the question of agricultural financing for the smallholder farmers at the lowest unit. There are questions around it. Will it work? Will people be able to use the money correctly? Well, we don't fear to fail. We want the money to go to the parish. We want the smallholder farmers perhaps who cannot get, Katamba, correct me, you call them securitized, is that the correct English? Securitized loans. Those are dangerous loans. A farmer cannot have security or collateral. So PDM is trying to fill in that gap. We are testing out, give us all the support, such that these smallholder farmers, people who cannot easily go to the bank, the people who cannot easily access the agricultural credit facility, you know it, they benefit from the PDM. Now, then what's our response for the large-scale commercial farmers? Madam Secretary articulated the challenges. One, agricultural infrastructure. UNRA is doing roads connecting highways, you know that. The urban centers are doing roads, doing the municipal and the cities. The sub-counties have their roads also called community access roads. But because of limitation, the road network does not connect farm to farm, farm to center. So under the Ministry of Agriculture, and I'm sure I suspect Madam Secretary must have pioneered that department, we've now built capacity of our mechanization department. The mechanization department, we are aggressively positioning. We have 19 zones of the country where we want to establish mechanization centers. We have so far operationalized 5, Buama, Dokolo, Aguata is in Dokolo. I know there's Aguata. We have done Bungo Ho in Mbale. We are now going to do Chiriandongo. We are going to do Nchara. So our target is to ensure that all the 19 zones of the country have mechanization centers. What is in a mechanization center? One, you will be able to access services of maintaining a tractor. So many tractors are there not looked after because the cost of maintenance are not easy. Two, you can easily hire bush clearing equipment, which you do not need to own anyway, even if you are a big farmer. Yes. So then when we operationalize the 19 centers, farmers can easily access them, especially the large-scale commercial farmers. Two, we continue to give out tractors, on demand-driven tractors, to large-scale commercial farmers. And on the 7th of this month, some farmers, it could be some of you could be here, because we've gotten the farmers through your leaders in the districts. HE, the president, will be flagging off close to 200 tractors to large-scale commercial farmers at Namariri. And we will ensure you use that tractor with your neighbors. We will be monitoring it with our software. If you underutilize it, we will record it and give it to Don Wanyama to plow his newspapers. I don't know what he does with the newspapers. So I really want to thank you. So that's what the government is doing. We still have challenges of extension, as Madam Secretary raised them. Why do we have the challenges? It's a decentralized system. These staff are in the districts. They are employed by the district service commissions. They are supervised by the districts. You will find one district performing. Another district is not performing. So this is a serious conversation we need to have. But also, when we were in Uganda National Farmers Federation, we had our own concept, farmer-to-farmer extension. And that's why we need to support the large-scale commercial farmers to not only make money, but to perfect their agronomy and become learning centers. Yes, so farmer-to-farmer. So, as I conclude, there is a proposal I have made to my friend Antonio and our partners, and I want to make it to you, Don. We've discussed it. Don't blame government. Government is a very annoying animal. You people in the private sector want the government to move at the same pace as you. It can never. It's that bad. Public bureaucracy systems can't be as you. Signing an MOU with a partner farmer, you'll have to take that MOU to the Attorney General. The Attorney General will have to send it to the Solicitor General. It will be sent to public procurement. Then the accounting officer will ask, under what framework am I financing this person? Is he a supplier? You have now to be a supplier. Because if the accounting officer fails here and there, the watchdog institutions will question this. So my proposal and request would be, I admire the justice sector. You have heard about something called JELOS. Justice, law, order sector. You have the judges, you have the police, you have the prisons, you have the UPDF, you have the NGOs, you have the partners. I would like you to pioneer and promote a sector for the agricultural sector. Maif comes here, Naro comes here, Nagrik comes here, the donors come here, finance for taxation come here, and we start a structured conversation. The farmers come in there. So we could actually build on the same structure you've built of this, maybe a week towards this. We would even have, because it's some of the confusion you hear, like the poultry feeds. You have local manufacturers who have come up to say, tax the imported ones, such that our industries can grow. But when you go to the farmers, they tell you, no, these local manufacturers do not actually give us the quality and we want. You will hear that complaint. So there is this push to support Bubu, but still the farmers are counting losses. And when I am introducing a law, animal feeds bill, I am being challenged. You want to overregulate the industry and kill the people? growing. You see the dilemma? So this is a forum we could discuss and resolve this. And these discussions could be structured. We could draw there a pyramid or a triangle of agricultural value chain. Production. We know what is involved in production. Seed must be super. Extension must harvest very well, goes to the market, earns a little higher. Isn't it? But somebody who manages to even do a higher level of sorting and processing earns more. So what these conversations could help us is to interrogate each component of the value chain, the bottlenecks. Where are the bottlenecks? Are they policy, government to take on? Are they financing? Banks to look at that. Is it insurance? Because somebody said, I think it's Honorable Secretary, that even the farmers who are making money are not insuring. Why? Maybe the insurance sector is a little bit not favorable. Yes. I can tell you the insurance sector, I got annoyed with them. I went to insure my grass-thatched houses. They told me we cannot, they are risky. I thought you were here to cover my risk. I hope and I pray that's not the same perception they have towards agriculture. So I am appealing to you friends. Excellent Antonio, this request is with you. New Vision, let's have a conversation. Maybe before Christmas, to provoke you and you go thinking for Christmas. How can we launch an agricultural forum, sector forum, for having, and we structure it. And we can even say, this year, the convener is private sector. Next year, the convener is agriculture. Next year, the convener is FAO, isn't it? And from that, we'll have the shows, and it can even attract more partners. We'll have more ministries to come in. Trade will be interested. Because you see, I've been watching, for example, Ministry of Finance, having some discussion with the media. They discuss issues to do with this. On the 6th of this month, the CEO's Forum are having a dialogue with the president at the hotel in Makshon. They are discussing issues to do with agriculture. There is a way they can't avoid agriculture. So, but that conversation will not be complete if the farmers are not in it. Isn't it? If Maif and Narrow, that Narrow people don't know about it so much. But the systems of our country is protected by Narrow. The challenge is how do you link their work to the farmers? Of course, the farmers use the seeds from Narrow to a large extent. But how can they know more about the innovations of Narrow? So I am really open, and as Don said, I value this conversation. That's why I had to ensure I travel, I come here. And even the expos we have, international expos, we could have this interaction. Otherwise, I am very excited. People in the government fear private sector. That was another problem I have found. They are reluctant to deal with the private sector because they believe you don't understand them. They believe you look at them negatively. But I normally tell them, yes, you are bad people. But having been part of government now for 10 years, I really know that the government is a bad animal. It's not as good as, it's not easy. I am sure even in the Netherlands, public resources are not easy to easily make decisions on. The way perhaps the management of DFCU, for me to donate 30 million, parliamentary approval, Auditor General, it's not easy. But really without your support and with the support of the farmers. First of all, farming, as I conclude, has a bright future. Why? Before, farming was done by my mother, who didn't know how to read anything. But she was brilliant enough to know how to treat traditionally the banana wilt. So what about we who are educated, who are able to leverage technology, who are able to network? Isn't it? Even from here, I'm interested in two people. I'll connect with that bigger farmer because I am interested, and the guy of forestry for the beehives and the honey. I have a huge forest idol. So come and make some money for me and we discuss the deal. Thank you so much, New Vision. Thank you so much to your board that make decisions to allow you to put money into this. Because development journalism, as Barbara says in her speeches, good journalism, development journalism requires money. So thank you for putting in money, and I think we'll be making a case for you wherever you need more support from your shareholder called government. Thank you, and once again, congratulations to the winners. So, what is my next step?
Thank you so much, Honorable. Your next step is to announce the overall winner, and drum rolls.